the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero!
Here we go, this is the time of our life.
The dream of every budding rugby player is to don the Kenya national rugby team Shujaa jersey, whether it be for the 15th or the 7th side.
And they've found the quickest play.
Aside from that, most of these young players want to play their trade for top-tier clubs, Kabras Sugar, KCB, just to name a few, alongside following in the footsteps of icons and legends such as Colin Stingerz, who holds the second place for number of tries scored on the World Rugby 7 Series, 250.
250 tries for that man, Collins Injera.
So today, we take a look at MKU Stingerz RFC, a National League club who train at Railways Club. Stingers were established in 2013 as a community-based club, and they play in both the 7th and 15th. The club founder, Hansel Omido, who is a lawyer by profession, explains the reason for the formation of the club.
It was just a social club, play social rugby, have fun, and because you see at times you get into your career and you don't have time to play competitive rugby, but then over the season or over the time, things change, and I realized that it's something that can help the community. So right now, we have ventured into, as a team, together with the patrons and other officials, we've gone into the grassroots to try and get young players who are in need of an education, young players who usually stay at home without doing anything, but they are able, right, but they can't afford to pay tuition fee for campus education. So most of the time we try and get them a platform from our team. So we met them, mentor them, build them as rugby players. Most of the time big teams come and take players from us, so we are more of a feeder team. Once they go to bigger clubs, they get opportunities to go and learn. Others get an opportunity to go and play for the national team.
For such a lower tier club, they are blessed to have a prestigious and experienced head coach, Ronald Gideon Okoth.
I'm a World Rugby educator. I've coached Kenya under 19. I'm a teacher by profession, and I also coach a lot of high school, and I'm also the coach for administration police, which is part of the work that I'm doing for Kenya Rugby Union. So this is part of our development clubs that I'm doing for the youth. So what motivates these boys to come here mostly is, most of them I know that when they pass through me, most of my boys are in the Kenya under 19, even the boys who are just coming from Namibia now. I have about 4 of them who have just come from this team. And also I have some boys who are now in the Kenya 7th who have just passed through my hands. And I also have a lot of boys that I've been coaching, so they know that I impact them with a correct skill that when they go for trials, they'll do well. I have some boys also who are now in Yemen and even Saudi Arabia who are playing rugby, and all of them are passed through this club. According to the head coach, the players are generally young, and the club's policy on recruitment is to sign up the youth. It is not a professional club. It's much more average age that we have is 22, but mostly also have 18 years because most of the boys are coming from high school, and most of them also are either first years or second years at the university. I'll say it's a scouting. I'll not say it's a scouting way, but I know I, being a development officer, when these games are on, like now from Saturday to Friday next week, I'm going to Embu. It will be a nationals for schools, and I'll be there, and I'll see a lot of players, and most of those players are coming from up country, and they like to play rugby more. So the approach, we normally just, you see a talent, then you ask him, when you finish school, what do you want to do? Then when they finish school, they end up coming to Nairobi, and then they lack where to go. So being that Railways is at the central place, so that anybody who comes here, most of the teachers tell them, go and talk to Mr. Koth, because they well know me that I nurture the talent. So all of them mostly end up coming to me. The head coach also says that the club is playing exceedingly well in the National League as they aim for promotion to a top tier. He also insists that rugby helps to mentor the youth
to become better people in the society.
My objective mostly is to keep more young boys into sports, and as you know, if you keep the boys into sports, you're taking them away from either violence and also the crime. So this is the only way that I'm doing it. And at the same time, I'm using it as a point of whereby the students can come and have a refreshing mind for sports, and then they go back to the academic work that they do.
However, he overrules the perception that rugby is a dangerous game and also shares the secret to as why rugby shines in Kenya more than other sports.
Rugby is not dangerous. That's first of all, take it out of your mind. It's only that there is skills and techniques which, if you do it right, you'll never get those injuries. If you train a kid to go down on a tackle nicely, he tackle and his head will be on top, he'll never get injured. Injuries even come in football, but you can't say that football is a dangerous game. It's only a matter of doing the right skills. So these boys, have empowered them with a lot of skills. And before a boy play in my team, he must have gone more than 6 months training with me. And I know his strengths and weaknesses and how to handle it.
Meanwhile, club captain Cecil Ambalwa has hailed the morale within the team.
After matches iko on Saturday, tunakuwa na team bonding, tunaenda place, tunajuana, tuna have fun, tunapiga ma jokes. Yeah, at least kila mtu ajue mwenzake anaishi wapi.
Nonetheless, like every aspiring club, challenges are enormous according to the head coach.
Most of the challenges that I face, especially dealing with this kind of a place, is I get a lot of players. Some of the players are either from different professions. Some are even from rehab and everything, because this place is central and is open. So to mold them back and to keep them back, to sustain them into this thing is what is the problem. Yes, kids can walk from Kibera up to here for a training session, but now when going back at home, you even ask for fare. So I don't have any other sports, but I have to use my own money to motivate them to go back. Key challenge is how to sustain the boys into these things, how to sustain the players into this thing. Because the players are willing to play. You can get a boy who have come to Tamak in Nairobi town, but he just see this rugby is here. Then he come and play, then tell the coach, you know what, I'd come to look for a job, but I didn't get a job, but I feel motivated by playing rugby. Then after playing rugby, will you give me fare? So those are kind of challenges that I do have a lot.
The club chairman also concurs with the head coach.
Currently, we're just surviving on well wishes as we go by. So currently, we don't pay the players anything. However, once in a while, when we go for tournaments, they get a small allowance, maybe for meals and the sort. Because we don't have a sponsor and we don't have finances to cater for that, currently we don't provide insurance for the players, which is not an ideal situation, this being rugby, and we know that rugby is a physical sport and which is prone to injuries, and an insurance cover is actually vital, but at the moment we don't provide any. We rely on the parents of the players. So if a player is injured, then we liaise with the parents and provide relevant care.
Rooney goals enough for the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero.